Hello, everybody. Welcome to our August 12th Zoom event. This is number 14, of something that we started during the pandemic. It's lovely to see all your faces. Please throw a pronoun if you'd like and your location in the chat. We can see who you are and where you're coming from. And we're offering a good afternoon and a good evening and a good morning because we got folks tuning in from all over the place today. Super fun. I'm Sean Sheehy. I'm the director of the Movable Book Society, and I'm one of your co-hosts this afternoon. Happy to be here from Chicago, and where it's a gorgeous, gorgeous day. Also co-hosting is Emily Martin. Talk to us, please.
Hi, I'm kind of wearing a bunch of hats today, so I'm a little distracted. But hello, welcome everybody. I come to you also from the Midwest, Iowa City, Iowa. I'll put that in the chat at some point. And I look forward to today's program.
Chet Mistress, Kyra Hicks, how are things on the East Coast?
We are fabulous here. It's a beautiful day in Arlington, Virginia, just outside of Washington, D.C.
Nice.
Welcome, everybody.
Nice. And Isabel is next on the introductions, and Isabel has just slid in there. Isabel, are you hearing and able to speak yet? Isabel needs another second.
Hello, I'm here. I'm able to see you. Can you hear me?
Yep.
Hi.
Yep. Okay, good. So, we are going to have a slightly abbreviated program, slightly different from what I'd sent to all of you on Monday. MJ Linford had to take a break on this today, so we're hopefully going to include her in November. She's going to show us some fun tech hacks, but everything else is well intact. Looking at the list, making sure we've talked about what we need to talk about. First of all, of course, if you've got a question, you're absolutely welcome to throw it into the chat. And I just see that Iku has logged in, Kumpe, so we're all good. And if you turn on closed captioning, by the way, you might see that it's rolling in Japanese because one of our presenters today, Kumpe, is a Japanese speaker, and we're trying to find a couple extra ways to help them feel at home here today. Also, if you're having some video issues, of course, you know what to do. Turn off your video and just listen, and that might help to resolve that for you. I think that is everything that I need to talk about. Emily, is there anything else that we need to talk about before we get rolling?
No, the next meeting that we'll be having is in person, which is the conference in Cleveland at the end of September, and then we will have kind of a, I think, final Zoom. Yes, Sean?
We're not saying that yet.
Oh, okay, never mind. Stay tuned.
We are very much looking forward to having everybody in the conference and hope to see your happy faces in Cleveland, whether it's in person or via video. Looking forward to seeing you all.
Absolutely. We're going to say a little bit more about the conference before we wrap up today. Okay, let's get rolling. So first presenting from 11:07 p.m. in Berlin is Micah Biederstadt. And so Micah, you probably recognize her face. She presented at the conference in 2021. So if you attended both online or virtually, saw Micah, it's quite possible you've got one or several of her books. Is the weather book, Micah, the most recent one that you have published, or is there a more recent one?
Oh, there are many more recent ones where I'm
okay.
the paper engineers, but they never appear on the internet with my name as a paper engineer listed. So they are very hard to find, but there are quite a lot.
So we should have a Zoom conversation about that.
Definitely.
How people in the US can have an easier time connecting to things that are happening outside of the US. Yeah. All right, Micah, take it away.
Wonderful. I'm very happy to be here and see everyone and to talk today about public lending right. And I want to first introduce myself. I'm a paper engineer. I'm from Berlin, Germany, and I have been working on pop-up cards, but also on books. And on some books, I have been working as the illustrator, paper engineer, and writer. But on many books, I work mainly as the paper engineer. And I want to talk about my experience with the public lending rights. And I now will share my screen. So I hope you see this already. Are you able to see what I show? Wonderful.
We see it.
Okay. So it's about public lending rights. And this is, again, me with a bit different hair color. But I'm not talking about the books I'm talking really about the public lending right. So there is a question, what is this, the public lending right? And it is a legal right to receive library, meaning public libraries, university libraries, royalties as an eligible, I'm sorry, I need a second. Now I see everything as an eligible book contributor, like an author, illustrator, but also a paper engineer in case your books are borrowed by the library users. And I came upon the topic because I have been working on quite some books with Dorling Kindersley in UK, and someone who also contributed to the book as a writer pointed me to the possibility to register for UK PLR, for the public lending right in UK, and said what my share on the book would be. So I tried then to register, and I also tried to register for the German public lending right. And the first thing was because the publisher was they thought I would be eligible, and there was not really a category. So you see, there are writers, illustrators, photographers, editors, compilers, narrators, audio abridgers, adapters, retailers, ghostwriters, producers are listed, but the category paper engineer was not. And then there came the suggestion to register as an illustrator. But that worked for some of the books I had been working on, but then some came back with that I would not be legally eligible. And then I wrote with the PLR in UK, and they explained to me that the paper engineer that was decided a while ago would not be eligible, and is basically viewed like a printer, like not like an artist. So that was a surprise. So that's the result currently with the UK PLR. So, and in Germany, it was like, I asked for the public lending rights and they said, all right, nobody ever registered as a paper engineer. Could you send us some of your books so we can check it in our rights department and see if we think this is eligible? And happily there, it was found eligible and for registration. And you can register now in Germany your pop-up books in the category of, not the paper engineering, it's under other imaging, like sonstiges Bildwerk is it called in Germany. You can register your paper engineering work, which is kind of a success. And yeah, you can register the number of pop-ups you have contributed in the book. Now there's a question, are PLRs of interest to you too? So, and where do they exist? And do you publish there? And PLRs exist in countries where copyright laws provide legal eligibility for PLR payments. And according to the German collecting society VG Bildkunst, this is not yet the case in the US. Unfortunately, I don't know. So I hope to hear from your experience if there's something like the VG Bildkunst is here, like a collecting society. And in Europe, there are some countries where you can register, for example, France, UK, Austria, Switzerland, and Spain. I don't know about the rest of the world, so it's it would interest me greatly how things are there. So in case you publish in one of the eligible countries, there is the question if you are eligible for public lending rights. And again, illustrators, authors, photographers, editors, narrators, translators are all eligible. Also essential for all pop-up books, paper engineering is not yet a standard category, meaning in case if you apply for PLR, I would recommend to check the situation up front and then try to register, maybe send working samples and try to establish the category that you can get public lending rights. So how do you get the access to the library royalty? So it's registering for PLR at your local collecting society. So for example, in Germany, the VG Bildkunst, or in UK, it's a UK PLR, and no idea how it is called in your country, but you should check if that exists. And then you can register there and register all the books you have been working on and claim your shares also in all the countries where your books have been published. And if you get the acceptance, you get automatic annual payment for each of your books.
Micah, I'm going to interrupt you for just a quick second.
Yes.
I apologize.
Yes.
Folks, the closed captioning is in Japanese today on purpose because we have someone in the crowd who does not speak English and only Japanese. So please leave it in Japanese for us for today. Thank you. Back to you, Micah.
And the benefit, of course, is making some profit from the UK PLR or the PLRs in your countries or wherever you publish. But also, maybe it will help to establish paper engineering as a standard category for PLRs over time. And this is the main reason I wanted to talk about it. I have the feeling that it is not very good represented, and also maybe this has also something to do with why sometimes the paper engineer can't barely be found, but the illustrator so much more, so that it is not like usual that paper engineers are listed for the books they have been working on. And I think it would be very important to raise awareness and that people try to register for that. And thank you very much for your attention. And I hope we can have a bit of an open discussion about the topic. So you are welcome to say your opinion and yeah, share your experience.
Micah, can we have you exit screen sharing?
Yes.
Yeah.
I'll do that.
We've got a couple of nice links in here. Conveniently, Bruce Foster just joined us, and he might have something to say about
that would be super.
The guy who works in publishing. Bruce, we're just going to put you on the spot right as you walk in the door.
And we'll give Bruce a minute to
yes.
Yes. There's a question who pays the royalty, the public lending royalty?
It is in Germany, it is like the VG Bildkunst is collecting it, and it's paying to all the contributors. And in UK, it is like, it's from the British Library, the PLR, and it's collected. So it's then also collected through the VG Bildkunst. So I apply in UK for UK PLR, get a number, a registration number, and then it is collected through the VG Bildkunst. I don't know how it works everywhere else, but that is how it works here.
Right, right. So now we'll go back to putting Bruce on the spot.
Yeah, so what did I miss? What's the...
Talking about public lending rights and payments of royalties. Does that exist in the US?
And for public pieces? Like what are you talking about?
I think for public libraries.
Oh, public libraries. I don't know about that. When public libraries buy a book, you get royalties from them. Is that what you're asking?
It is, you get for each loan in the library, you get a little royalty.
I have never heard of that, so I don't think so. But I mean, possibly, but you know,
it is my information as well that there is nothing like that in the US.
Correct. That would make sense. Yes.
But it's really, yeah, I think you can access more information about it from where you are based.
Well, we have a lot of library issues going on in this country right now, as you all may be aware. So there's a lot of book banning going on, which is, in my opinion, incredibly anti-American. But it's still happening. So we have some struggles going on.
Yeah. Kyra is putting a number, as are some other people, I think, putting some links in for more information about this. And one of the links in particular has FAQs in English, French, and Spanish. So you can kind of, you know, if you're interested in pursuing this in the US, you should be able to get more information there.
Sounds amazing.
So Micah, this might be something that you mentioned during your presentation, and I've been back and forth between half listening and half managing the event. So forgive me if it is, but I mean, in the US, you know, I don't have a grand experience of libraries carrying a lot of pop-up books because of course they're concerned that they're going to get shredded too quickly. Would you say that's a fundamentally different situation in Germany, that libraries show or have available pop-up books?
I know because I registered in UK that their books have loans. So I saw exactly the number of loans for books I've been working on, because I did register first as also an illustrator. And they didn't realize so quickly that I don't am eligible, and kind of a mistake. So definitely there are books that are loaned. I don't know the situation in the public libraries in Germany exactly, because mostly I went to the Staatsbibliothek, and they have a huge collection of pop-up books. Super interesting if you ever visit Berlin. Really wonderful stuff. But they are mostly in the rah-rah, like you can look at the books in the library, but you're not allowed to take them away because they have really rare books, and it's to keep them still working for a long time.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So someone is always watching you
Right.
when you go through the books there. So, but I don't know how it is in other libraries.
And there's more links. And for those of you in Canada, they seem to have a more enlightened program in that they do have a PLR program set up there. And so keep checking the chat. There's a lot of interesting information in there. And we always save the chat, and that will be posted with the video. So you don't have to be frantically writing things down. But you can also save the chat yourself if you want to.
Absolutely.
And what I really like to point out is that I was able to make a difference in Germany. So I think if a lot of people apply in countries where it's possible to apply, I think we have all a chance as a paper engineer to maybe also be a part of that, because the question comes if we are like the second best artists. If we are not eligible, even the translator is eligible.
Right. Right. And that's part of what our organization does, is elevate the engineering, for sure. Excellent. Thanks for all those great comments. Thanks for all those links. Kumpe is feeling like the captioning is not being super useful. So I am going to go ahead and throw it back into English. Again, thank you very much, everybody, for floating along with us on a very interesting language day today. Super. And we're gonna bounce over and we're gonna check in with Katie. Katie Smith is a conservator at the University of Florida in Gainesville. Also, you may recognize Katie's face. She was with us in the 2021 conference. You might remember that she did all those super cool digitization into 4 dimensions, basically, of pop-up stuff. Katie wanted to offer some updates. So, Katie, take it away.
Thank you. Hi, everyone. It's so nice to see you all. So I'm just going to start screen sharing right away. I'm going to go back and forth between PowerPoint and some web stuff. So do you see my PowerPoint?
Yes.
Awesome. Okay. Let's see. I think you're only seeing it in the annotated. So let's do this and get that out of the way. All right. So before I start, I just wanted to thank all of you who helped me with this particular project that you see. You can't really see the book. My apologies, but this is Dean's Dissolving Pictures of Things Worth Knowing. Recently did the conservation for it, and I needed help finding another copy because ours was out of order. So I reached out to a bunch of you all, and I just want to thank you because you guys found it. We found it in the British Library. We were able to get the right paper order, and this book at the University of Florida has become rather special. As you can see here, this is a pull tab, and some at-home do-it-yourself guru has actually added sort of a T-square to this pull tab. So I was able to do a whole presentation on the sort of socioeconomic aspects of this book, as well as the evolution of the pull tab structure and sort of that interplay between user and maker. So just thank you all for doing that. So if you weren't able to go to the Denver conference, I'm just going to give you a little quick review of what we're doing. Our movable books needed a new methodology in how we move them through the conservation and the digitization process. We wanted to cater more to the curious maker and the paper engineer. So if you go onto our digital library, you will find that a lot of our books have full scans. Now, these are just still scans. Some of the pages have been scanned twice, depending on the mechanism, so that you can see some of them are at rest and then fully extended. But what we've started to do is we choose one page to animate, and we use a different software, all dependent upon that type of mechanism. And sometimes we use multiple softwares. We've found that Kubashta certainly needs more than just one to show off his skills, but we will do a software for one page, and then we'll actually scan that page to create some facsimiles and also create models for the book and that structure. And we will link that PDF model to the book on the digital library, so you can download it, you can print it, and you can make it yourself at home. If you come to our grand reading room, which of course I hope you do, and I hope you come and visit me, you will find that the book has been fully repaired to working condition. And that was one of the important things, is that people started asking us to make sure that the mechanisms were fully repaired in these books. And so we definitely tried to do that. But along with it, you will find sort of 2 facsimiles and 2 models that you can really play with. You can definitely utilize the mechanism in the book itself, but if you're really interested in the structure and how it's made, you have things that you can sort of be a little bit harder with to really figure out how these sort of work. And these come automatically when you check out the book. All right, so that was just the review. Here's the new stuff. So we are working on this to just be a normal methodology for any movable and pop-up coming into our collection. However, we're also making sure that a good amount of different paper structures are available. And so we're also working in sort of these small groups. We are about done with our transformational slats and Venetian blind mechanism. So we're really excited. It's not out yet. We tried to make it so that it would be available before this meeting that we had, but we're about a month out. So pretty soon you'll be able to find some really beautiful Venetian blinds that you can sort of look at in terms of animation as well as sort of mechanisms. I wanted to just sort of mention, let's see, I'm gonna stop sharing really quick. During the Denver conference, we had a lot of conversations with mechanisms in which the backing is required to go back on in order for the mechanism to work, and how do we show the back of the mechanism if the backing is sort of required. What we've started to do is, if you come into the reading room, instead of backing it with normal paper, our facsimiles are then backed with Mylar. So you can actually see the back of the mechanism if you come into the research, and you can see these little stabilizing pieces that you wouldn't normally see, so that this sort of Little Red Riding Hood sort of goes down nice and smooth. So we have started to do that as well. So if you come in to the reading room, you'll be able to see that. All right. Next slide. We are still doing a lot of 2-dimensional objects, but 3-dimensional objects are in our future. So we've started to really look into and be serious about the photogrammetry. If you're not aware of what photogrammetry is, really simply, you just take hundreds of images of one object from all different angles, and then you ingest those images into a software system. And that way, not only can you see it from all angles, but you can rotate it, you can flip it, you can zoom in, and you can zoom out. The University of Florida does not have any other conservators. I'm the only conservator on staff. So the Natural History Museum and the Harn Museum of Art don't have conservators. So I have a working relationship with them. And because of that, we were able to go and visit the Natural History Museum's photogrammetry lab. They showed us how they do their photogrammetry setup. They gave us all of the equipment lists, and we were able to recently just get a grant and sort of set it up so that we can actually start playing with this. When I went to the Natural History Lab, I of course brought with me a little Shanxi pop-up. I thought you guys would get a kick out of this. We didn't have time to fully image, so you can see that there are some gaps here, but you can also see how difficult it is to actually image paper. If you don't get it really centered and perfect, what you get is sort of what looks like 2 layers of paper rather than 1. So it takes a little bit more time. You can see how easy it is to image an eraser and a binder's clip. And yes, we don't use those on our, sorry, Sean, this is all we had at the time, but for special collections, we don't use them. But you can actually see and rotate this. So you can actually see the mechanisms, how far apart they were glued. You can even see the muscle in the back, how it works. And if you zoom up even further, you can actually see the texture on the paper itself. So we're really, really excited about this. This is sort of coming down the pipeline, and we hope that it will be just a really helpful tool for people who are more interested in sort of the pop-up and the 3D aspects. So we're excited about that. The other new thing is that our front-facing design for our digital library has changed. And so I wanted to show you that really quick. So when I spoke at the conference and showed you how to get this, this is what you would see. And it was actually really hard to navigate. It was really hard to sort of find what you were looking for. You know, one of my things would pop up, but then it would take quite a while for all of these sort of PDF structures to pop up. So our new interface is a little bit easier. So if you have a set title that you're interested in, like this one, you can click search and click on what you need. Now this, once again, the whole book is stand and still scans. So you can actually see the full book, but you will find that there are some pages that have been scanned twice. So you can see that this flip up is in its rest mode, and then it's fully extended in this mode. So it's the same page, but it gives the, the viewer a little bit of an idea. If you want to see it actually in motion, you go up here to this black toolbar, click on video, and then you can play the animation fully. And yes, it's slow, and that's okay, but it will extend all the way up, and then it will also extend all the way down. Unfortunately, with this software, you can't zoom in, but we are working on sort of making sure that you can at least see the full page. Now, one of the things that's really tripped up people is they think that the PDF file for the model is here. It's actually not here. This is the PDF file for all of these scans of the original pages. What you need to do is you actually need to click up on the top at this related URL. And this is what will take you to the actual PDF model that you can download and print and make on your own. And these are these go back and forth. So if you're just interested in finding the models, you don't need to know the actual titles. You can just go ahead and click on movables. And I always tell people that it's easiest to filter under my name, and you will find all of them on the website. Once again, we're not finished with the transformational slats or the Venetian blinds, so you won't find these linked to an actual book yet, but some of them are up. But you can click on things like this, get the PDF file, and then also link directly to the book and see the video. So hopefully that new interchange will make it a lot easier, a lot more seamless to find these things Just the biggest, trickiest thing is that if you're looking for the model, don't click on the PDF files. Click on this above link, the related URL. We're still working on making this a little bit more easier for people to find, but it's a little bit tricky. This is sort of an unusual project for a lot of our IT people, so we're getting there. So yeah, those are sort of the new things. That's all I got for you. You're welcome to ask any questions or none, but contact me anytime.
And once again, Kyra has been putting lots of links into the chat. So all of those websites that she was showing, and you should be able to access them through the information in the chat, and also contact Katie if you want to do that also.
Alistair commented, I went to a talk at the V&A and a museum in Dundee about photogrammetry, and a big pop-up in there. It was really interesting, and I took those models and cleaned them up and animated. Alistair, do you want to say more about that to someone who's working in some similar things?
Yeah, I was going to message as well. Have you did any of that stuff? Have you animated the photogrammetry stuff in the cool 3D way? And if not, I'd be happy to help out with that in some way.
Yeah, so I am not the genius behind any of that animation stuff. I am a total Luddite who just fixes the book. So please contact me, and then I will connect you to the digital guru who's been helping me on that end. We're very new at this. Once again, we just barely got the equipment, so any and all help would be greatly appreciated. So thanks, Alistair.
Oh, yeah, will do.
So there's a Dundee that's super close to me. Alistair, I think you're in a different Dundee.
Probably a different Dundee, yeah.
I should also say that somebody asked if any Meggendorfers have been done. We've done one, but we actually haven't put it out yet. We're trying, Meggendorfers are complex and scary. And you have to realize that I have to reverse engineer all of this in order to make the model, which is really, really time consuming for me. And once again, I'm the only conservator for 12 special collections. So they're coming. And I should also say that, especially for Meggendorfers, we do plan to not only scan the front facing side, but also the back facing side. So you should be able to get 2 videos, one of the, what it looks like from the front, but also the mechanisms moving on the back.
Super.
I don't know if I missed any other questions. Sorry.
There is, again, just a nice flood of useful information and some links in here. So once again, we'll make sure everyone's got that, and you can do some extra poking around on your own time. But thanks very much, Katie. That was terrific. Yeah.
Thank you. Hopefully I'll see you all at the conference.
Yeah. Oh, so Katie, you're committed.
I just got the okay. So we'll see if I can slip in. I don't know if the hotel's all booked up yet, but I'm excited.
Okay. Excellent. Sweet. Okay. Emily, was there anything else in there that you wanted to grab before we?
Tracy has put in a whole lot of links, and I'm guessing that they are animations, but she hasn't answered my question yet. But there, anyway, just to reiterate what Sean was saying, there are a lot of links that we're going to be making available to you through the chat, so you can explore this in great detail. It's really cool. And I look forward to seeing you in Cleveland, Katie.
Jean, do you want to say a few more words about what's happening at Northwestern?
Sure. The link that I posted really has all the juicy stuff. There was in our library, there happens to be a few kind of random IT departments, and one was this innovation lab that was just getting started, and they had nothing to work with. And we had a graduate student in anthropology who discovered all of our rare materials and he wanted to do some photogrammetry. And so we had a lab who had nothing to do. It was just getting started, and we had a grad student who really wanted to do some stuff. And so we got all this work done for free because they were trying to figure out what they wanted to do. And over the course of 6 months, the lab grew from a little tiny bit of equipment to this gigantic place. And the URL that I posted there is kind of a libguide that shows the 6 objects that he chose, and it allows you to skin the different things. So you can move from polygons to the way the light reflects off of these different things. Again, none of these are actually movables, but it kind of shows you the potential for photogrammetry. And I've been begging them, could you please do some pop-ups? And they're like, man, this was hard enough. But I'm not giving up.
That's really exciting. Keep me posted on that. And I should just mention, Sean, that the Natural History Museum technicians were thrilled to do your pop-up. They loved it. They were so used to doing stuff in formaldehyde jars, and they were just really excited. So thank you so much for that lovely little workshop gift.
Absolutely. Yeah, Katie had a workshop model there. Yeah. Super. Okay. We're ready to talk to Kunpei. So Kunpei Shindo coming to us from Tokyo, where it is, it's almost 7 a.m. Almost. And Kunpei is formerly a graphic designer, and now he's working as a paper engineer. And the paper engineering part of his job started in 2009. A part of his job in 2009, and in 2019, he switched from graphic designer to paper engineer entirely. And then in 2022, he participated in the Instagram project, the Pop-Uptober, that I imagine a number of you are familiar with. And he also asked me to say, his English language speaking skills are secondary to his Japanese speaking skills, but he's open for commissions, and he does some amazing stuff. So Google Translate, my friends, Google Translate. Okay, so Kunpei is going to be assisted by Ikue Shirayanagi, who is here in the Zoom meeting here as well. So I'm going to spotlight Kunpei. And though that's haiku. That's what I meant to do. Okay, take it away.
I'm so nervous now. Okay, hi. Hi, everyone. My name is Kunpei Shindo, and I'm a paper engineer based in Japan. First of all, thank you very much for having me today. It's such an honor for me to be invited to this event, and I'm so excited to introduce some of my work. Although, unfortunately, my English is not very well. So today, I will be assisted by interpreter, Ikue-san. And so, please allow me to talk in Japanese from now on. 郁恵さん、よろしくお願いします。緊張しました。どうぞ。まだ緊張しています。私が、ペーパーエンジニアリングの仕事を初めてしたのは、実は15年近くも前のことで、2009年頃からになります。
My journey into the world of paper engineering began almost 15 years ago, back in 2009.
もともとはグラフィックデザインをしていたのですが、様々なご縁や偶然が重なって、私は少しずつペーパーエンジニアリングを始めました。
Originally, I was in a graphic design, but through various coincidences, I studied paper engineering as a side business.
ただし、ペーパーエンジニアと、ちゃんと名乗るようになったのは2019年頃からになります。ですので、
どうぞ。
ですので、長い年数にしては、お見せできる作品はあまり多くはないかもしれません。
I started to refer to myself as a paper engineer around 2019. Considering the number of the years of my career, there are very few works that I can show you today.
今回は、急ぎ足になりますが、初期に作ったものから最近のものまで、少しずつご紹介したいと思います。
But today, I'd like to introduce some of my works from the early ones to the latest ones.
まず最初に、私のペーパーエンジニアとしてのキャリアのきっかけを作った作品を紹介します。
Let's start by looking at the works that kick-started my journey as a paper engineer.
都合により今回は写真のみになります。
I'm going to show you a picture of this product.
パカポンというギフト商品で、封筒を開けると輪ゴムの動力でモチーフが立ち上がる仕掛けになっています。
Meet Pakapon, a charming gift item that uses a rubber band to make it stand up when I opened the envelope.
ペーパートイクリエイターの中村春樹さんによるテンプレートがベースになっています。
The inspiration of Pakapon came from the paper toy designed by Haruki Nakamura, creator.
当時、紙の箱を製造する町工場とご縁があり、このシリーズのデザインを担当しました。
This is a request by a paper box factory which I had a business connection with.
次に、これはある雑誌の付録として制作したものですが、先ほどの仕掛けをもとに、発射台のようなベースの部分を作りました。
Moving on, I crafted this piece as an add-on for a magazine. Building upon a concept I mentioned before, I designed a base.
Sorry. By the way. このプルタブを引くことで、この地球の形をした本体が飛び出します。
So I designed a base resembling a launch pad. By pulling this tab, the main structure pops up.
この発射台の部分は私のオリジナルになります。
This launch pad is my original.
次に、こちらはとてもシンプルなカードですが、加工が珍しいのでご紹介したいと思います。
Next, I'd like to introduce a simple yet wonderfully unique card due to its special creation process.
1枚のシートでできていて、1箇所を糊で留めることでポップアップにしています。
This card is made from a single sheet of paper, and with a bit of clever gluing, it transforms into a delighted pop-up.
こちらが組み立てる前のシートになります。
This is the single sheet before.
このような繊細な抜きでは一般的にレーザーカットを用いますが、このカードでは金属の板を腐食させて作るエッチング刃というものを使って切り抜きをしています。
Unlike the usual method of laser cutting, this is a cut by a special etching blade made from a metal plate that has been carefully corroded.
レーザーのような、焦げ跡が出ないので、このような白い紙の表現に向いています。
This approach allows us to create the intricate designs of precision without the scorch marks that laser cutting can sometimes leave. It's particularly perfect for clean white canvas like this.
次に、私が設計したグリーティングカードについていくつかご紹介したいと思います。
Now let's look at the collection of greeting cards that I designed.
まず、私のパートナーでもあり、イラストレーターのマスコエリとの共作です。
First, those are the pop-up cards in collaboration with my partner, illustrator, Ellie Masco.
彼女とは、2010年頃より時々ミニカードを作って発表しています。
I have been working with her since around 2010 with occasional releases with these charming mini cards with her illustrations.
これらは個人制作のためとても小ロットですが、一部は販売もしています。
Since these are crafted at home, these cards are produced in small batches, and some of which are available for purchase.
もし今後取り扱いたいというメーカーさんがいれば、いずれは量産化もできればと考えています。
Looking ahead, if the opportunity arises for collaboration with the manufacturer, I envision the potential of the mass production down the line.
次に、ホールマークについて。
Now, the cards for the hallmark.
2019年より私は、日本ホールマークにて、ポップアップカードの設計に協力をしています。
Since 2019, I have been cooperating in the design of pop-up cards at Hallmark Japan.
これはほんの一部ですが、すべて私が設計に関わったものです。
Those are some of my works, of which I made original designs.
実際に、マーケットに流通するカードのため、コスト面や製造プロセスに配慮した様々な工夫をしています。
Bringing a card to life for market distribution entails a thoughtful balance of cost and manufacturing considerations.
ちなみにここだけの話ですが、残念ながらおそらくアメリカの本社に、私の存在はまだ気づかれていないと思います。
Additional notes, it's quite possible the US headquarters is even unaware of my existence.
こんなのもあります。
Look at this.
次に行きます。
Next.
テンプレートや、工作キットについて。
Let me show you my templates and the craft kits.
キャノン、私は稀にですが、ワークショップの講師などもしていて、これまでにテンプレートや工作キットもいくつか作っています。で、その中から最近のものを、ご紹介します。
I occasionally teach workshops and have created several. Here are just a few of the recent ones.
今表示されているのは、キャノンが、家庭用のプリンターユーザー向けに運営している、クリエイティブパークという、ウェブサイトがあります。
So this is the website named Creative Park for home printer users.
クリエイターが作ったペーパークラフトのテンプレートを無料で提供しています。
They offer a collection of free templates for paper crafts, all designed by various creators.
そちらで昨年2種類のポップアップカードを制作しました。
Last year, I made 2 pop-up cards.
こちらがテンプレートですね。
Templates.
組み立てるとこのようなカードになります。
When assembled, it is like this.
ちなみに私は、ボイテフ・クバスター氏が、の作品が大好きで、この作品は、 私なりのオマージュでもあります。
I'm a big fan of Positik Kvashta, so these cards are my way to paying tribute for his wonderful work.
次に、こちらは、東京の葛飾区という自治体の依頼で制作したノベリティになります。
Moving on, the next is a novelty made at the request of a municipality in Tokyo.
シート状になっていて、組み立てるとポップアップカードになるキットですが、私はここであることにチャレンジをしました。
It is a single seat craft kit of pop-up card and it has a special feature.
このカードは、ごめんなさい。このキットは、ハサミも糊も使わずに組み立てられるようになっています。
The feature is it can be assembled without using scissors or glue.
組み立て方もとてもシンプルで、指示通りに折り、数字の順にパーツを差し込めば完成します。
The assembly is very simple. To insert the parts by just following the provided instructions.
この方式は、イベント会場などで配布するようなノベリティに適していて、コストも少なくすることができるので、今後も可能性を探っていきたいと考えています。
Since it is quite simple, straightforward, and the cost is relatively less expensive, so this type of product is well suited for the novelties handed out for events. So I believe there is a good potential for business opportunities.
次に行きます。次に、SNS のために制作した、作品をいくつかご紹介したいと思います。
Next, I would like to introduce some of the works I made for Instagram.
昨年私は、初めてポップアップ当番に参加をしました。
Last year, I participated in the pop-up tour for the first time.
ポップアップ当番は10月1日から31日まで、1日1つずつ決められたキーワードに合わせてポップアップを作り、公開するイベントです。
Pop-up tour is an event on social media that participants create a pop-up by a keyword of the day every day in October.
限られた時間で、たくさんの数を作らなくてはいけないので、すごくヘビーでしたが、とてもエキサイティングで楽しい時間でした。
It was quite challenging because I had to create many works in a limited time period, but I had so much fun at the same time.
時間の関係でこの場ではお見せできませんが、私のインスタグラムに記録が残っていますので、ぜひ見てみてください。
I've picked some of my favorites. I don't have enough time to go over them one by one, but please check it my Instagram.
次に、こちらも SNS のために作り始めたシリーズです。
Now I'd like to introduce another series that I began creating for the Instagram.
カウントアップトライアルというタイトルをつけていますが、数字をモチーフに、私が試してみたかったアイディアで自由に試作をしています。
It's titled Count Up Trial, and it's a prototype of ideas that I wanted to experiment with. 今はまだ、5までしかできていませんが、今後2桁以上の数字でも続けていくつもりです。I've only made it up to 5 so far, but I plan to make more than 2-digit numbers in the future.
このシリーズは、私のインスタグラムで、展開図の画像も公開しているので、ぜひ見てみてください。
On my Instagram, I also share the drawings for this series. If you are interested, please feel free to check it out.
?最後に、もう一つ、今後私が進めてみたいと考えている試みについて紹介します。
Finally, I would like to introduce another experiment that I would like to explore in the future.
もしかしたらここにいる皆さんの中では、賛否が分かれるかもしれませんが、ポップアップと AR を組み合わせた表現についてです。
Some of you may prefer a simple paper pop-up, but it is an expression that combines pop-up and AR, augmented reality.
すでに、いくつか先行事例もありますが、近年のプラットフォームの発達によって、さらに新たな可能性が広がっていると感じています。
There are already some precedents, but I feel that the development of the platform in recent years has opened up new possibilities.
これは一昨年の暮れ頃に私が個人的に試作をしてみたものです。
This is my prototype that experimented with at the end of the last year.
クリスマスカード風のモックアップになっています。
This is a pop-up with Christmas.
インスタグラムのアプリを開いてみることで、エフェクトが加わります。
When we open the Instagram, the effect will be added.
この点で面白いのは、様々な画像をトリガーにできるという点です。
What's really cool is you can use different pictures to make things happen.
既存の画像を使えるので、既製品のカードなどにもエフェクトを加えることができます。
You can use any picture and even make cards that are already made look cooler with extra effects.
今後、ビジネスとしても可能性があると考えています。
I think there is a great capabilities of the new business.
私個人では、この程度までしかできなかったのですが、プログラマーや 3DCG クリエイターの方との協力があれば、より様々な表現が可能だということが分かりました。
While my personal capabilities are somewhat limited, but I've come to realize that collaborating with the programmers and the 3D CG creators open up the greater possibilities of a wide variety of expressions.
もし、プログラミングや 3DCG に詳しい方がいらっしゃいましたら、ぜひご連絡をお待ちしています。
If you are familiar with programming or 3D CG, please contact me. I'd love to collaborate with you.
ご覧いただいたように、私はカードを中心に、小型の作品を主に作ってきました。
As you can see, I have mainly made small cards.
これからはポップアップブックにも挑戦したいと考えていて、実は今、日本国内のあるコンテストのために制作を進めています。
Looking ahead, I aspire to venture into crafting a pop-up book. I'm actually working on a project for competition in Japan.
また、私には、まだまだ、実現したいと思っている、アイデアがたくさんあります。
I have a lot of ideas that I'm eager to bring to life.
ですので、世界中から、ぜひコミッションワークの、ご依頼をお待ちしています。
I would love to have a business opportunities from all over the world. Please refer me if something comes up.
ぜひ、私に、様々なチャンスを、 いただけたら嬉しいです。
I really would like to have a business chances.
以上で私のプレゼンテーション終わります。お聞きいただきありがとうございました。
That concludes my presentation. I want to thank you for listening all the way through.
Okay. Woo!
お
Thank you. Thank you. Thank
Thank
you,
you for
Kupe.
listening.
Thank you, Iku, for interpreting. We've got questions. We have questions. Question number 1. If someone wants to contact Kumpe, how would Kumpe like to be contacted?
もしご連絡をしたかったら、どのような方法で連絡を差し上げるのが一番いい方法でしょうか？
インスタグラムをまず使ってください。今、ウェブサイトを作っている途中なんですけど、今はインスタグラムしかないので、そちらでお願いします。
Instagram, Instagram is this. 連絡するんだったら、E メールがよろしいんですかね？
そうですね。ダイレクトメッセージでも、E メールでも構いません。
You can message me or you can email me.
So for those challenged at grabbing a quick QR pic, we will put Kumpe's Instagram handle into the chat in a second. In the meantime, also, Kumpe mentioned that he has things that he maybe would like to sell. Can we contact him the same way if we would like to maybe buy something that he has made?
QR コードの方は、これからチャットの方に載せたいと思います。で、もし、この、作られた作品のカードを購入したい場合っていうのは、同じように、ご連絡すればいいんでしょうか？
そうですね。まず、相談をしてください。海外の方に、売っている、今まであまり売っていないので、まずご連絡をいただけたらと思います。
Please contact me first. Honestly, I have not sold to the outside shipment, so let me think about it.
Excellent. Emily,
Um,
you dug up there that you want to ask?
Well, very, very early on, I think it was Ellen wants to know what the T-shirt says.
T シャツには何て書いてあるのか知りたいという質問です。
Over the sun って書いてあります。
It says over the sun.
私の好きなポッドキャスト番組のタイトルです。
It's the title of my favorite podcast.
Okay. Thank you. I know that Ellen will also be pleased that you mentioned Wojciech Kubascha. She is a big collector of his work.
エミリーさんは、クバスタさんのことを言ってくれて嬉しかった。私もファンですというふうに言ってます。
me too. 彼の素晴らしいところは、とても構造がシンプルなことだと思います。
I like his works because the structure is quite simple.
シンプルだけど、すごく効果的に見せる力がすごいなと思っています。
But yet, it's quite effective.
Yeah, it's impressive what he does with simple structures, and the same with Kumpe.
くんぺいさんの作品と一緒ですね。
ありがとうございます。Thank you.
Seth would like to know where's a good place to buy pop-ups in Tokyo.
他の質問で、ポップアップのものを買いたかった日本で、東京で買う場合、どういったところに行けばいいんでしょうか？
私の作品に関して。
Is that generally speaking or the his work?
Generally speaking.
一般的にお店とかですね。東京のお店とか。
そうですね。一般的には、東京の場合は本屋さんの一角だったり、文房具屋さんに、ポップアップカードは大体置いてあるかなと思います。
Usually, the bookstore or stationery store.
Okay, I am watching Seth in the little window right here with his fingers on his keyboard, ready to Google the name of a store.
特になんか、本屋さんの名前とかありますかね。
ああ、有名な、
紀ノ国屋とかですかね。
そうですね。紀ノ国屋とか、そうですね。あと、文房具屋さんですと有名なのは伊藤屋さんとか。
So, 紀ノ国屋 is famous, a popular bookshop. K-I-N-O-K-U. Okay, K-I-N-O-K-U-N-I-Y-A. And also the station.
Someone just put it in the chat too.
チャットに入れてくださいということです。And the stationery store is Itoya. He will put it the chat box.
Okay. So I've been watching Kumpei's work since Pop-Uptober, from last year.
ポップアップトーバーの頃から、くんぺいさんの作品を、に注目してるんですけれども。
And I wanted to invite him to present because I think his engineering is really original and charming to slay. Charming.
ここにぜひお招きしたかった理由は、その構造が非常に魅力的で、ポップアップをしたときに、ワオっていう感じがあると。もう成し遂げたという感じがあると。
ありがとうございます。ちょっとだけじゃあ、プレゼンテーションではカットしたんですが、お気に入りを少しお見せしていいでしょうか。
So if time allows, thank you for saying this. I would like to show one of my favorite.
カメラ。ごめんなさい。これ。これとても他に見たことがないなと思って気に入っています。
I think it is very original. Never seen it elsewhere.
とてもちょっとマーケットで売れるようなものではないですけど。
It may be hard to sell.
Right.
あとこれも、エンジニアの方には面白いと思ってもらえると思います。
I think this may interest if you are engineer.
Mm-hmm.
わかりますか？
Did you see that?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
いつか作品にも使いたいですね。
I would like to use this structure with other works too.
あとこれも、ギアで動く仕掛けになっています。
It has moved by a gear.
ありがとうございます。
Thank you.
読みます。
So
他に
good.
質問。はい。
Is there any other questions?
So quick recap on what Pop-Uptober is. It's an event. It's an online event. It's an Instagram event that happens in October. And Keith Allen at American Greetings organizes a list of topics, and you saw those all listed on the front of Kumpei's pop-ups. And so anyone who wants to be involved is welcome to do so, either through Instagram, or it also, connects to Facebook. They're all one and the same thing. I'll pause so Iku can interpret.
今は、紹介、をしてくれ、オクトーバー、ポップアップオクトーバーの紹介をしてくれたんですけれども、見たい人は、くんぺいさんの作品をそこで見ることができます。
Yes.
Much more expeditiously stated. Thanks, Iku. Super. So good. So good. So good. Let us quick check in with Emily, if there's anything else in there that we want to grab real quick.
Well, just Isabel put in a reminder that Keith Allen will be speaking at the conference about Pop-Uptober.
Excellent.
So if you're coming to the conference, you'll get more info there.
So let's talk about the conference for a hot second. It of course is next month, the last weekend of September. We're meeting live in Cleveland. But also there will be a virtual version of it, and y'all are welcome to register. It's not free like the Zoom event here is, but it's very close. So if you enjoy these, you might very well enjoy joining in with the Cleveland conference as well. And it's quite possible that Kyra already, because she anticipates me, has put the registration, the registration information. The link is already in the chat. And then it'll be coming to you again, of course, like we mentioned earlier, when we send all this out to everybody. Peter Dahman is going to be our keynote speaker. He is the one, of course, who did that amazing carousel set for the Wendell and Wild movie. So he's going to talk about that. Kyra's dropping in information about the post-conference trips to either the Massa Museum, that's also in Ohio, or the Morgan Conservatory of Paper, which is also in Cleveland. So super close. Fun post-conference trips. Also, we're going to do something that we haven't done in forever, which is award some lifetime achievement prizes to James Diaz and Tor Lockvig, who were very big in the scene in the 20th century. And back to what Micah was saying earlier about paper engineering credits, they were involved early enough that their names aren't on a lot of the work that they did. Later stuff, for sure. So we'd love for you to help swell the ranks to thank them for all of the great work that they've done. The landmark paper engineers, as Ellen has thrown into the chat, for sure. Also, if you are a subscriber and you're doing these things for free, we're so glad that you're here. If you'd like a little bit more and you want to sign up to get a quarterly newsletter, jump on our website and become a member. It's super cheap. And you'll get a quarterly newsletter. Bruce Foster is the editor. We were talking to Bruce a little bit earlier. They're gorgeous and so informative and so useful and so good. You will not regret getting those in your mailbox. And you can get them in print or you can get them digitally. You can get both. Bruce, do you want to say a thing about newsletters real quick before we wrap up?
Yeah, keep those ideas coming. I'm always interested in hearing any ideas that anybody has, or any treatises, examinations of past pop-ups, mechanisms, people. and ideas for stories. Always on the lookout. So send them in.
Nice. All of our Zooms have been recorded. They are all available for viewing on our website. Jump on over to movablebooksociety.org and go to Zoom events, and all of those links are available. Again, it's all free. Click and enjoy. Click and enjoy. As Emily mentioned earlier, and as a lot of you have probably noticed, we've got a transition in store. And so Emily and I will be hosting our last Zoom event in November. The new director who takes over on October 1st, Suzanne Carr-Schmidt, you will be very happy that she is stepping into the position, because she's terrific. And this will be a great thing for the society. Suzanne is a curator at the Newberry Library here in Chicago. Just staged a big pop-up book exhibit at the Newberry. It was amazing. So it's up to Suzanne. What happens after November? You know, watch your email inboxes, watch the website. We'll see what happens. We don't know. It's going to be a big fun surprise. Watch your email. Okay, Emily, anything else from you?
No, you're going to thank everyone for coming and then pause.
Yes, I am. Kyra or Isabel, anything else from you before we wrap?
Nothing else on my part, just you kind of fulfilled all the part about the conference. So I'll just say I'm looking forward to seeing everybody that can make it in person. And if you cannot make it in person, don't forget we're doing it virtually too. So we look forward for you guys to join us virtually if you can't be there. And really look forward to interacting with as many people as I can at the end of September.
Isabel is one of the conference co-chairs. Larry Rico is the other one, and they've knocked it out of the park. It's going to be so good. It's going to be so good. Okay, I'm going to say goodbye, and we're going to have a moment. We're going to leave the Zoom running for a moment afterward, but thanks everyone for coming and for joining in for another fun Zoom event. I look forward to seeing you again in the future.
Have a good evening. Thank you, everybody, from Japan to Canada to Germany to Netherlands to Scotland to the United States. Thank you.
Thanks, everyone.